However, starting with the front page, stories from the front page of the Punch newspapers this morning. UK peace meeting. Atiku seeks weakest support. Obasanjo pushes Obi's agenda. With this riders, Rivers Governor tables demands. Wants Atiku commitment in writing ahead of agreement. Another one, weakest men favor alliance with Tinubu. Say Obi lacks strong structure. APC presidential aspirants may meet over Tinubu Shettima tickets. Mr. Agbola. And this headline, it's almost on the front page of almost all the national dailies this morning. What can you say about this PDP? Can we call it crisis or what?
Politics. Anyway, politics is all about subterfuge. It's all about shenanigans. Well, everybody wants to, at least the major candidates, Obi for Labour Party, they call themselves the obedient. Atiku, they call themselves the articulates. Then our own Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, Atiku knows this is the last chance. In fact, he has been lucky, but if he is not successful this time around, it's very doubtful whether you can get the same opportunity again. So he wants to do everything and anything to ensure that he's successful. And he has been having very tough with Governor Nyesom Nwike of Rivers State. So he didn't meet him here. He should have done that. Some of us were of the view that he could have done that here, but he thought maybe all these things will subside. He didn't. So Wike went outside to meet Asiwaju and his team, and he went there to also to meet him. And Baba Obasanjo too. Well, he believes he has issues with Atiku and maybe Asiwaju, even though Asiwaju met him recently, but he's still putting up for or supporting obedient. That's Peter Obi. Now, all said and done, if you ask me, out of the three, well, people may accuse me. I think Asiwaju stands a better chance out of the three. Why? Because you see, what Wike is fighting for, Wike may be abrasive, Wike may be hot-tempered, Wike may be anything, but you can't take it from him that he's a party man. And when people like Atiku was running from PDP to AC then, there's your ACN then he went to PDP again, and he stood like a rock of Gibraltar and has spent more than any other governor we know in PDP. Now, there are two things, fundamental things. Now, you said if he is taking up the mantle of national chairman of PDP, but if the candidate of PDP comes up from the north, then he's ready to step aside and allow somebody to emerge from elsewhere. Now, the candidate emerged from the north, and he's telling Nigerians that he still have 4-year mandate. I mean, where does that happen? That is one. Secondly, and more importantly, given what we have gone through or we are going through now, Nigerians will not be happy having somebody from the north again, a full animal again. So I think he is making a good point, and it depends on how he can stand his point and maneuver his way through. But I think he has a point. He has a point.
Thank you. Another one here on the front page of the Punch newspaper, politics also. Fayose can't remain Ekiti PDP sole commander. This is coming from the state publicity secretary of the party.
Well, you see, the party structure in Nigeria is such that if you are the governor, you are the alpha and omega. And if you are in a state where your party is not controlling the state and you have a former governor, the former governor remains the numero uno. That's number one. So, and now it is natural with human beings that you do your own and leave the rest. So what the publicity secretary is telling him is that Fayose, you have had your good and swell time.
Go and rest.
Go and rest. Let's suppose you also pick it up. There's nothing bad in that, honestly. I don't see anything bad in that.
All right, thank you. Talking education now. Pray your government to fund varsity, I beg your pardon, ASU tells parents.
I don't know what is wrong with Ushodo. And if you are not very careful, it's going to bounce. Now, all the major unions in the university, NASU, SANU, NAT, they have all agreed to resume. It's only ASU that is standing up. Now, we parents have also agreed to pay money. What's his own business? And you see, I think I'm eminently qualified to be not a stakeholder, a major stakeholder. We have two kids, and by every standard, I mean, we have 2 kids in the university. I'm qualified by every. Now, we have. I know that eventually we pay. Let this be the first and the last time the union will hold us into ransom. We cannot run universities like this. And universities in all over the world is not run like this. Now, parents are willing to pay. So, what's his own business? No, that president of ASU, I don't know. Parents are ready to pay. So, what's his own business? Let the parents pay. Let it really go. And you see, it's not even going back alone. Let this be the final one. Now, let us sit down. And I have said it elsewhere. I don't know whether I have said it here. That let there be a tripartite meeting. The government, the ASU, well-meaning Nigerians. Then we parents too will observe. If I'm ready, if they call me, but except that they are going to look at people who have means, those who are rich. So people like us do not have the opportunity. But I can sit in the comfort of my room and say, and if I have opportunity like this, also say, look, we cannot, if you are not very careful, this thing will recur again. It has been recurring now since Obasanjo's time. And so we have to find a lasting solution. And the lasting solution is that we parents must also be ready to jack up a little what we are paying.
Yes, a power crisis. Disco's death to Genco's eats 2 trillion naira.
That issue has to be revisited. It's not that, you see, there are some issues we are trying to sweep under the carpet. But after some time, the carpet will be full. So that all the debt we have swept under the will come out. Issue of subsidy. Issue of these Genco and Discos. So they have to sit down and look at it. We are paying. Some of us who are fortunate, because we are fortunate to have prepaid meters. So you only spend or you pay what we are spending. So we are lucky, and by every standard we are. So if there is no light for 1 week, there will be nothing like they will bring a bill. So if people are paying, then why not the problem? It has to be resolved.
Yes, take this along with it. It has to do with economy also. Troops intercepted 3.7 billion naira stolen crude oil. Defense headquarters.
See, but where were they? That is the problem. Now, a lot of oil is being stolen. And again, do you blame those people there? You won't. Because they also have seen that our people, leaders at the top, or guys at the top, they are also stealing. So, and this thing belongs to their area. So let them also steal whatever they can. That's not the best. So the government should try to ask why these people are doing what they are doing. Try to appease them, and let us have the money so that all of us can share it.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Abolai. From the Punch newspaper, I moved to the front page of The Point. On the front page of The Point newspaper, FG borrowing to close infrastructure gap. Fashola.
Yes, we cannot do but borrow. But I think we have had a lot of borrowing. Unfortunately, the security situation has not even helped matter. The Abuja-Kaduna rail line, we borrowed to fund it. Now, by now, if it was working, they will have generated money to pay back. But now they can't work. I think one of the last ladies that is still held in cattle, that's when the bandit said they are going to marry off. You can just imagine that. Then there are some people too. Oh God, wow. So it is very sad. It's very sad. Borrowing, yes. Score this government high on infrastructure. They've done well. Is it airports? Is it the roads? Is it the major highways? Fine. but we cannot continue to borrow. Let us put a break to it. Let's put a stop to it, and then re-examine. Can't we look elsewhere? In economics, you can do the PPP, the public-private partnership, if you to get some of these things done.
Another one on the front page of the Point newspaper. FG laments high cost of governance, set to reform public service.
Oh, we have heard that too many times. Let them do it. Action speaks louder than voice.
Yes. Another one. PSC workers to embark on strike over 1,000 IGP.
It's very sad. Dear sister, it's very sad because Police Service Commission, they are going on strike because there is differences between the IG and the chairman of the Public Service Commission, who incidentally is also a former retired IGP. Now there was even a time they wanted to recruit, but the recruitment did not take place because there was clash between the PSC boss and the IGP. Well, I want to believe that can only happen under this government. Such a thing will never have reared its ugly head under Obasanjo. I'm not his fan, but there are certain things he did which were good. Like other women, even now I'm talking now, I have my own shortcomings, I have my own weakness. How can they are all working under the same government, under the same commander-in-chief? Then they have differences that cannot be resolved within, and it's coming out in the public. It's shame.
Soldiers eliminate scores of terrorists, apprehend others in North Central, Northwest.
It's still not good enough. Let us have the impact. If they do, it is not them that will be broadcasting. It's the people that will say, oh yes, people have done this, people have done that.
Yes. I move to the front page of leadership. Friday leadership. Orosanye reports federal government will reposition MDAs with draft white paper. Secretary to the
again, we have heard a lot. You see, action. If they take action, you know. Rather than we are on top of the situation. Anytime the security hit like some people, they have always been on top, and we know that in reality they are really not on top. So let them act before they start talking. We have had enough of talking.
UN hedges increase of Nigeria's education budget to 20%.
Yes, the UNESCO standard is 26%, and we have never even gone as far as 15%. So they are asking us if we can do that. I think that would be better. We need education. Yes,
The Diaspora Commission wants Nigerians against visits to Northern Cyprus.
Yes, Abike Dabiri, the chairman of the diaspora, he has said it. Well, since that place is not safe, and they have been warned, no Nigerians, we are desperate to leave any country, anywhere in the world. We are ready to go. But it's a warning. If you are going to Northern Cyprus, it's OYO. You are on your own. So if there's any wahala that comes up, don't call the federal government because the federal government will not be there to listen to you. It's a warning.
Yes, from there I move to the front page of New Telegraph. Back out of ASU strike, students tell state varsities.
Yes, honestly, I was on a live program and I was saying that I supported how parents are paying. And then a parent called and he said, he's paying over 200,000 in a state university. So why should he be made to pay additional 10,000? And I saw reason with him. My sister, I withdrew my daughter. Maybe I've said it here. I withdrew my daughter from university because I could not pay this. And I took him to a federal university because that's where I know I can pay. Or sure I couldn't pay. So assuming I struggled to pay, if the poor girl was there, I struggled to pay, and somebody asked me to pay, there's no reason, on no basis, should the state university join ASU. I don't support it.
Another one here, TED Fund sponsored COVID-19 vaccine ready for trial by November.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's amazing. It's marvelous. If they're able to do that. Let us, for once, look inside. We have this university, they are always crying. What are the researches they are conducting? There is only federal government must bring money every time. No, it doesn't work out like that.
Insecurity won't affect diaspora investments. This is coming from the federal government.
That's a blatant lie. It's a blatant lie. I mean, we know how much they were investing before. And we know how much they are investing now. I mean, it's not rocket science. If there is insecurity in a place, now who will now want to go to Kaduna to invest now? Or who will want to go to Zamfara? Or go to Niger State? It's a blunder. They are only deceiving us. It's not reality.
I move to the front page of this day newspaper. No pray. Nigeria must declare emergency on oil theft and underproduction. Others. With this rider, resolving security challenges will bring back investments to oil sector.
Oh yes. No insecurity anywhere. I mean, the first law of nature is protection of yourself before you think about. So if this place is not secure, if there is oil theft, no, you don't expect anybody to come and invest. So let the government do something. Now, if they are able to police that place very well, we get more money and a lot of things.
On the front page of Daily Trust newspaper this morning, 2023 general elections, be responsible, puts Nigeria first. Jonathan tells politicians. With these riders, urges citizens to vote right leaders. Sambo wants issue-based campaigns. Leaders have a lot to learn from IBB. Oshiomole Atiku.
Yes, responsible leaders. All people who have aspired for have told us they are responsible. They have promised us heaven on earth. They have done that, so they are all responsible. But we should also decipher and know the truth from falsehood. We should know the people who really do our bidding than those who are only there to self-aggrandize. That's that. Oshiomole on IBB. Well, our situation has been so pathetic that we always look at the past with nostalgia. IBB will have become one of the best leaders the country ever produced. But I think, personally, I believe that it was a selfish interest. He wanted to stay in power perpetually. That was his undoing. And if he had not annulled the June 12, 1993 election, maybe he would have been up there. Well, like every woman's situation, he did his best. And well, whether his best is good enough or not is for posterity to judge. But if you ask me, he could have done better.
Another one. Police seal NNPP office in Maiduguri, detain senatorial candidates.
Well, Kwankwaso is desperate. Kwankwaso, I put him in the class of Atiku. They just want to become president at all costs. Well, it's democracy, and everybody has a right. Even me here sitting, even you have the right. You want to say, you can just say, I want to become president. Nobody can arrest you for that fact. Kwankwaso, I think there were two states, one in the north, then Cross River, if my memory serves me right, where there was incident of accident. They lost some life. Why should it be? All because somebody wants to become president. So people must lose that. So in Borno, they have sealed up the office. So I mean, you should be patient. It shouldn't be a desperado. It shouldn't be at all cost. Well, as a Muslim, if God has destined him to come, fine, there's no problem. But that should not be at the cost of other people's lives. It's not worth it.
There's terrorist camps uncovered in Abuja suburbs. With another one here, 3 soldiers, several bandits killed in Zamfara ambush. Take it together.
Yes, Abuja, well, we are happy if that information is correct. But they shouldn't rest on their oars because a lot of cell camps are all over the place, not only Abuja, but some other places. So let's give them kudos for that. But for now, you not knock them. But they should do more. Now, what's the second issue?
Yes, it has to do with the 3 soldiers and several other people killed in Zamfara.
Yes, Zamfara in particular. I don't know. Something should be done. The government should be up and the government should up its ante and then ensure that lives are safe and secure. Because the fundamental duty of any government.
On the front page of Blueprint newspaper, Ogun, Lady arrested for selling 8-week-old baby for 0.6 million naira.
Wow. All because of that. I don't know. I thought women go through labor before they bring forth a child. And that whatever the condition, you never know what that child can do in future. And so why would you want to sell a baby because of hard times? Hard time never lasts. Tough time never lasts. But tough people do. Yes, you may be going through challenges like it is with every human being. There is no human being born of a woman that will not go through challenges. But that's not enough for you to say. I think joy, children are joy. And it's not all parents, it is not all wives that give birth to children. So if you are lucky to be one of those who give, I think you should be grateful to God and take proper care of that child rather than selling.
On the front page of Nigerian Tribune this morning, military eliminates 57 terrorists in 2 weeks, naps 21 pipeline vendors.
Yes, good, but you can still do more because we are still in a terrible situation.
Another one, hoodlums cause havoc in Lagos community, block Badagry Expressway. For how long?
Well, I don't know. I think it's around Janiki or thereabout when this woodland decided to do because they have the government should do more. Then we too. You see, we can't leave everything to government. We live in societies and we know who these miscreants are. Well, sometimes unfortunate because when even you report to the police, sometimes they are arrested immediately. Then they are let off the hook. So they continue to commit the havoc. But we still appeal to the government to do more.
Yes. Another one, and read the last one to be treated this morning. I beg your pardon. Your princess seek Makinde's clarification on Alaafin's tool.
And yes, the stool is vacant now.
Yes.
So people want to aspire to the throne. And in those days, like I always say, woman differ. But these days you don't consult the oracle again. Governor is the oracle. So he's doing the right consultation. See what they want to know from the governor. They have to study the body language of the governor and then try to reach out to him. So, but in those days, it wasn't like that. In those days, they consult oracle. And wherever the oracle brings pigs, that's a person to be anointed. Then the governor will just do the coronation. But these days, they don't do that. Governor is the oracle. So that is it.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Murtala Bola. And this is how far we can go on newspapers today. And on behalf of the producer, Oluwatoyin Yusuf, we appreciate your coming, Mr. Bola.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. Until Monday, when we shall be joining my colleagues on newspapers today. Have a wonderful working day and happy Jumat.
dáa kó lè dáa kó lè dáa àgbélédé ọmọdé ẹ̀yà wá ṣeré agbádùndé ọmọdé àgbààgbà ẹ̀yà wá jagbétò.